Oh, sisters, let me tell you, sometimes the devil hides in the everyday, slipping into your life quiet as a whisper, waiting for you to open the door. It was a sticky August morning in Memphis, the kind where the humidity clings to your skin like regret, and the cicadas hum a warning you ain't ready to hear. I was 49. Tamika Reynolds, married 24 years to Roland, that smooth-talking man with the salt and pepper beard and eyes that used to make my knees weak. We'd carved out a rhythm, him as senior account manager at Delta Finance, me juggling part-time shifts at the hospital's billing office while keeping our cozy ranch house in Whitehaven spotless. Our boys, Jamal at 21 studying engineering up at Ole Miss, and little Trey, 17, with his hoop dreams and that crooked grin. Folks at Mount Moriah Baptist called us goals, holding hands in the pews, hosting fish fries that fed the whole block. Trust? It was our unspoken vow, breathed in over morning coffee and goodnight kisses. Or so I thought. That day started ordinary as grits. Roland showered early, humming some old Al Green, spritzed on that cologne I bought him for Father's Day. The spicy one that lingered like a promise. "Gotta hit the road, baby," he said, tying his tie in the hallway mirror, briefcase in hand. "Big client lunch in Germantown. Love you." His lips brushed my forehead, warm and quick, then the screen door slapped shut behind him, his Crown Vic rumbling down the driveway. I smiled to myself, pouring oatmeal for Trey before school, my scrubs already laid out for my noon shift. "Steady as she goes," I whispered, folding his lunch. Turkey on wheat, extra mustard, just how he liked. But after dropping Trey at the bus stop, I circled back to the garage, eyeing our old Explorer. It sat dusty in the corner, neglected since Roland swore by the company car for image. Time for a shine, I thought, a little surprise to brighten his week. Grabbed the rags, the Armor-All, that pine-scented spray he loved. Popped the doors, vacuumed crumbs from the seats, old McDonald's fries from a family road trip to the Gulf. Felt good. Nostalgic, wiping down the dash with a microfiber cloth. Humming "Let's Stay Together" under my breath. Then, absent-minded, I flicked open the glove box. Registration papers yellowed at the edges, a half-pack of spearmint gum gone hard. And there, wedged in the back like a forbidden letter, a slim blue box, Trojans, Magnums, extra lubricated, unopened, pristine, expiration date fresh as tomorrow. My hand froze mid-wipe, rag-dripping suds onto my sneakers. We hadn't used condoms since Jamal was born, trusted each other like breath, talked about baby number 3 over candlelit dinners that never led anywhere but deeper love. "What's this?" Inner voice hitched, sharp as a stitch. "Not ours. Brand we'd never touched. Too fancy for our practical ways." Heart slamming like bass in a trap beat, I yanked it out, plastic crinkling loud in the quiet garage. Sealed tight, no tears, no fingerprints of use. But hidden? Oh, deliberate. My knees buckled, back sliding down the fender till I sat on cold concrete, box clutched like evidence in a trial. Roland? 24 years. Vows in that little chapel on Beale. Him carrying me over the threshold, us crying together when the doctor said no more babies. This wasn't a relic. It was recent, premeditated, a secret stashed for stolen moments. Tears welled hot, but I bit 'em back, chest heaving silent sobs. Think, Tamika, think. Maybe a joke from the boys? No, too neat. Client gift? Lies. The puzzle clicked cruel. Late meetings, his phone buzzing face down at dinner, that new cologne masking something floral. I slammed the box shut, shoved it back, exact, flipped the papers just so. No trace. Stood on wobbly legs, wiped my face with the rag, tasting salt and pine. Drove to work numb, billing codes blurring on the screen, coworkers chatter a distant hum. Confront him? No. Something darker bloomed. Rage, cold and calculated, like the eye of a hurricane. I clocked out early, detoured to Miss Etta's Spice Shack on Lamar, that hole in the wall with jars of fire from hell. "Habanero flakes, extra dry," I told her, voice steady as steel. She raised a brow, knew my face from church, but bagged 'em without a word. Back home, gloves on from under the sink, I crushed those peppers fine as dust, eyes watering but unblinking. If he's playing fire, opened the box slow, like disarming a bomb. One by one, I filled each sheath, coated the inside thick, sealed 'em flawless. No residue, no scent, but faint rubber. Slid it home in the glove box, closed the door soft as a prayer. "Your move, Roland." That night, he breezed in with takeout BBQ, all smiles and missed you tea. I plated ribs, laughed at his corny jokes, made love slow under the ceiling fan, his hands familiar, my heart a locked vault. Inside, "Burn, baby, burn!" But oh, sisters, the real blaze was just kindling. Little did he know, my silence was the match. Sisters, betrayal don't sprout overnight like kudzu. It creeps, root by root, fed by silences you mistook for peace. Let me rewind, take you to the girl I was before the woman he broke. Tamika Brooks, 25 and full of fire, waitressing at Central BBQ while slinging books at community college. Roland was my storm, fine as sin, with that fade and form and swagger from his daddy's crew. Met him at a block party on Danny Thomas, him spinning records, me dancing barefoot in the grass. "Girl, you move like trouble," he grinned, handing me a red Solo of sweet tea spiked just right. Sparks flew. We were engaged by Christmas, married in a pop-up ceremony at Overton Park. Me in Mama's lace, him promising forever under the oaks. Early days were hustle heaven. Jamal came quick, a chubby-cheeked blessing with Roland's dimples. I quit waiting tables for night classes and medical billing. Numbers my sanctuary, turning chaos to order. Roland framed high-rises downtown, coming home dusty but dreaming big. One day T will own the skyline. I'd rub his feet, tally our envelopes, rent, diapers, that raggedy 98 Taurus. Loved him fierce. Through his knee surgery after a scaffold fall, my stretch marks from nursing, the way he'd whisper, "My queen," tracing my curves in the dark. We built walls around us. Date nights at the Orpheum, fish fries where the block became family, baptizing Trey in the Mississippi mud under a harvest moon. But cracks? Subtle at first. Around year 15, Roland's promotions meant longer hours, networking drinks turning to midnight returns, his laugh looser, breath minty sharp. "Clients, baby, gotta seal the deal." I'd nod, packing his lunch with love notes, ignoring the silk tie I didn't buy. My own world bloomed quiet. Billing gig at Methodist turned full-time, then side consulting for clinics, spotting fraud in claims, saving docs thousands. "Tamika's got the touch," my supervisor said, bumping me to lead auditor. Folks thought it luck. Truth? I devoured spreadsheets like scripture, built a nest egg in a separate account, $20K by Jamal's graduation, stocks in pharma plays, a rental duplex in Fraser. Kept it from Roland, not distrust, just my safety net. "We're in this together," he'd say, but his eyes wandered to the ladder, not the foundation. Trey's teens brought storms. Hoop camp fees stacked up. Roland's bonuses vanished into investments, a boat that sank, Buddy's schemes that fizzled. I'd cover shortfalls from my stash, lying smooth. Overtime at the hospital. He never pried, too busy climbing, senior manager by 45. Schmoozing at galas, I skipped for double shifts. That's when she slithered in. Vanessa Nessa. Tate, his work wife, blonde-streaked curls, yoga pants tight as temptation, the new junior exec with the laugh like wind chimes. Met her at the holiday party, her hand lingering on his arm, toasting to dynamic duos. I smiled through it, inner voice hissing, "Watch her." But Roland dismissed my vibes. "Jealous, T? She's harmless." Harmless as hemlock, signs piled like autumn leaves. Late text buzzing, "Team building." His shirt scented with jasmine, not my vanilla. I'd scroll his LinkedIn late night, her posts glowing, match power couple vibes with arm around shoulder shots. Payne gnawed slow, nights alone folding his uniforms, wondering if our bed felt cold to him too. But confrontation? Nah. I swallowed it, channeled to work. Promoted to compliance director, nest egg hitting 80K, quiet donations to the boys' funds. Hold the line, Tamika, till that glove box ghost. Now, replaying it all, rage clarified, not just affair but erasure, me, the rock, reduced to fool. As I lay beside him that night, his snores steady, my mind mapped the minefield. He thinks I'm blind? Time to open eyes. The peppers weren't petty. They were poetry, justice simmering. But unleashing, that waited for proof. And proof, sisters, came quicker than a summer squall. You know that ache, sisters? When suspicion coils in your gut like bad chitlins, twisting every glance into guilt? The days after the discovery blurred into a haze of feigned normalcy. Me stirring grits with a smile, Roland pecking my cheek before vanishing into his schedule. But inside, I was a sentinel, eyes sharp as switchblades, logging every slip. Monday, he forgot his wallet. Rushed back mid-morning, Explorer idling in the drive while I peeked from curtains. No errand, just a quick text, grin splitting his face. Her I knew venom rising. Tuesday, his phone lit up at dinner, unknown number, thumbnail of a selfie. Nessa's lips pursed in a duck face, caption "Miss you already?" He flipped it face down quick, mumbling spam, but his fork scraped loud, appetite gone. I played along, cooked smothered pork chops, asked about his day with that wifely lilt. "Oh, spreadsheets and schmooze," he'd say, eyes sliding past mine. Lies hung thick as smoke. I nodded, inner thoughts screaming liar. Trey noticed the chill. "Ma, you good? Dad acting weird." Hugged him tight. "Just tired, baby." But sent him to hoops early, mind plotting. By Wednesday, patience thinned to thread. Clocked out at lunch, tailed him in my Civic. 3 cars back, heart-thumping gospel beats. He veered off I-40, not to the office tower, but that nondescript motel on Poplar, Riverbend Inn, neon sign flickering like a guilty conscience. Parked crooked, he stepped out, scanning, then her door swung. Nessa, in a sundress clinging sinful, wrapping him in a hug that lingered low. I gripped the wheel, white-knuckled, tears blurring taillights. Not a stranger. Our Nessa, holiday eggnog, baby shower gifts, her fake concern when I miscarried round 2. They'd played me like a fiddle. Dinners where she'd accidentally brush his knee. Her husband, Calvin, solid deacon at our church, voice like velvet in choir, clueless at the grill. Betrayal doubled, tripled, stabbing him, her, the web we'd all spun. Watched him slip inside, curtains twitching shut. No scream, no tires screeching up. Just photos on my phone. Discreet snaps through the tint. Her hand on his belt, his laugh muffled. Evidence cold as autopsy steel. Drove home numb, deleted the call log, plated his leftovers like nothing scorched my soul. That night, he came in late. Jasmine faint under cologne, tie askew. "Traffic," he lied, collapsing on the couch with a beer. I perched beside, hand on his thigh, testing. "Missed you," I purred, lips to his ear. He stiffened, then melted, but his kiss tasted borrowed. Made love mechanical, my mind miles away. Enjoy it, Roland. Last free ride? Afterward, he snored. I stared at the fan blades whirring blame. Pain crashed waves. How long? Why her? Was I not enough? But under it, strength stirred. No more victim. Tomorrow the trap sprung. But first, a call I never thought I'd make. Calvin's number from church directory. Hung up before ringing. Not yet. Dawn broke humid. Roland rose, fresh showered, new shirt crisp, cologne heavy. "Today's the day," my gut growled. Kissed him slow. Be safe. Watched him grab the Explorer keys. Door slammed, engine roared, and I waited, Pepper's pulsing promise. Little did he know, the fire was lit, and it would consume everything but me. Waiting's a beast, sisters. Claws in your chest, dragging out seconds to eternities. I paced the kitchen that Thursday, coffee cold, phone silent sentinel on the counter. Trey off to school with a backpack kiss, Jamal texting "love y'all" from Oxford. Empty house echoed accusations. I vacuumed twice, scrubbed counters till they gleamed, anything to outrun the dread. What if he senses? What if Mercy calls? No! Flashed to Nessa's smirk at last year's picnic. Her "girl, you so lucky," laced with pity. Mercy, for thieves? Noon crawled. I lunched on yogurt, scrolling her Insta, your boss babe brunches, no hint of sin. 2 o'clock, phone buzzed unknown. Heart leaped, Calvin, no, her. Answered cool, Tamika Reynolds. A gasp, then sobs, Nessa's voice cracking like cheap crystal. "Mrs. Reynolds, it's Vanessa." "Oh God, something's wrong. Roland, he's hurt bad." Words tumbled frantic. Motel room, post-tryst glow shattered by screams. After he put on protection, like always. And then fire. Burning inside, he thrashed, yelling, "What did you do?" I gripped the sink, vision tunneling. Gotcha. Kept my voice steady, nurse mode. "Slow down, honey. Where are y'all?" She wailed location. Riverbend, room 2112, then ER sirens and back. He's blaming me, clawing at himself, can't stop the pain. Hung up, legs folding me to the floor. Not triumph, not yet. Nausea, a hollow victory. He earned it. But God, the cost, pieced it from her hysteria. Condom cracked open post-act, powder unleashing hell on tender skin. Rushed him to Regional 1, her trailing in yoga pants in shame, desk clerk gawking at their disarray. ER doc swabbed, soothed with creams. But the burn. Chemical warfare, habanero capsaicin, no mercy for mucus. Intentional exposure, the nurse charted later. Gossip flies fast in med circles. Roland dosed with opioids, catheted for relief, Nessa grilled in the hall. Any substances? Allergies? She stammered lies. Maybe lotion. But eyes wild, suspecting sabotage. Discharged late, Raw and raging, he dropped her at her Audi, tires squealing accusations. Home by dusk, he burst in. Face ashen, slacks loose, ginger steps to the bathroom. "Nah, baby, bad stomach bug at lunch." "Docs say food poisoning." Voice strained, eyes dodging mine. I buzzed concern, brewing ginger tea. Poor thing, lay down. But inside, liar's crown fits loose. He crashed early, groaning. I sat vigil, scrolling news on my phone. Nothing yet, but ripples start small. Friday dawned feverish. He called in sick, phone exploding texts I glimpsed. WTF was that? From Nessa ER bill? From HR. By noon, office finds buzzed, whispers of motel mishap. Burned where? Laughter leaked through voicemails he ignored. Afternoon, Calvin called. Voice thunders soft. Tamika heard rumors. Roland okay? I paused, heart twisting, truth time. Not sick, Cal. Worse. Meet? Park by the river. We sat on a splintered bench at Tom Lee, Mississippi, churning muddy secrets below. Sun-dipped gold. I spilled it all. Condoms, tail, peppers. No sugar. Your wife's been with mine, Cal. Months. I made sure it stung. He stilled, deacon calm cracking, fists clenched, jaw granite. "God don't like ugly," he murmured, eyes wet but unspilled. Hugged me brief. "Thank you, sister." For truth, drove off shoulders squared. Night fell heavy. Roland confronted, cornering me in the kitchen. "T, what did you do?" "That box, it's burning me alive." Denial crumbled. I met his glare cool. "Found your secret, Roland. Filled it with fire. Fair?" He lunged, rage, not remorse, then deflated, sobbing on tiles. "Nessa, just weakness." Forgive? Lies poured. Gifts from our savings. 5K on lingerie, trips, her understanding, his stress. I laughed bitter. Our money for her lies? Slid divorce docs across the counter, prepped by a lawyer auntie. Sign, or I tell the world. Turning point hit like gospel choir swell. Not his tears, but my reflection in the window. Eyes fierce, curves unbowed. "No more shadows, Tamika. Step into light." He signed shaking, begged for scraps. "The boys?" But I walked out, locking the door on 24 years ash. Strength surged, pain's embers forging steel. But justice? Just warming up. Little did they know, the panic was public, and the fall. From grace to gravel. Scandal's a Memphis summer. Starts smoldering, then devours blocks before the trucks roll in. By Monday, Delta Finance hummed with it. Water cooler autopsies of Roland's incident, Nessa's ghosting her desk. Heard he scorched his, snickered interns. Execs cleared throats, but eyes danced. HR hauled them in tandem, separate rooms. But stories clashed. His allergy, her tampered product. Emails flew. Witness statements from the motel clerk. Saw him rush out, him hopping like fire ants. ER discharge leaked to a cousin in records. Board convened emergency. Conduct unbecoming. Affair on clock. Lawsuit bait. Termination letters dropped like hammers. Roland's gold watch yanked, Nessa's corner office cleared by security. He slunk home defeated, boxes of plaques and ties. "T, they fired me over nothing!" Rage flared. "You started this!" But I stood firm, suitcases by the door. "Your choices, Roland. Own 'em." Boys came home stunned. Jamal driving in furious. Trey weeping. "Why, Dad?" Family meeting fractured. Him blubbering apologies. Me doling truth bites. Grown folks mess, not yours. Custody split amicable. He got weekends, me the house, alimony from his severance. Calvin moved swift, confronted Nessa that night, her denials dissolving in tears. "Emotional affair," she whimpered. He packed her Louis bags, filed by dawn. Church buzzed, deacon's wife shamed, pews parting like Red Sea. Kids caught crossfire, hers whispering, "Daddy's sad," ours dodging questions at school pickups. Neighborhood turned theater, stares at Publix, whispers at the Y. Roland job-hunted desperate, resumes ghosted. Interviews curdling when that story surfaced. Nessa couch-surfed friends insta gone dark. Me? I leaned in, promoted to hospital compliance chief, 85K base, my nest egg blooming to 120K with bonuses. Therapy Tuesdays with Sister Ruth, forgive to free yourself. And block walks with Tasha, spilling guts over wine. Pain ebbed to ache, then scar stronger tissue. Calvin crossed paths at choir practice, shared nods turning to coffee at Java House. "How you holdin'?" he'd ask, voice balm. No rush, just understanding, laughs over kids' antics. Sparks? Subtle. Like fireflies in dusk, karma circled poetic. Roland's new gig at a startup? Tanked when a reference called the incident liability. Nessa's networking? Crickets, her brand torched. They crossed once at a gas station, awkward shuffle, eyes down. He texted me sporadic, "Miss you," blocked. She cornered Calvin at pickup. "One chance." He shook head gentle. "Too late, Ness." Justice wasn't vengeance. It was balance, scales tipping back to worth. But redemption? That bloomed unexpected in quiet corners where pain met patience. Healing's no straight road, sisters. Twists through thickets, thorns drawing blood before the clearing. Months blurred, divorce finalized crisp October, house mine with fresh paint and lavender in the yard. Boys mended slow. Jamal venting calls, Trey's hoops fiercer, channeling hurt to hustle. I thrived. Corner office overlooking the river, mentoring young billers, stash hitting 150K with a 401K bump. Church embraced, Pastor Hayes' sermon on Forged in Fire, eyes on me proud. Roland faded, renting a studio in Midtown, sporadic checks late, boys' visits tense. Nessa vanished to Nashville, rumors of waitressing, her glow dimmed. Calvin and I? Chance meeting at the Levitt Shell concert, blues wailing under stars, our kids mingling oblivious. Tamika, he smiled, program in hand. Fancy. Sat side by side, knees brushing accidental, talking past the encore. Scars, laughs, what-ifs, not regrets. Coffee led to walks along the bluff, his hand finding mine natural as breath. "You're light, T," he'd say, thumb tracing my knuckles. No labels, just ease, trust rebuilt brick by brick. First kiss, Mud Island sunset, his lips soft, tasting like peppermint and possibility. "If you're ready," he whispered. I pulled him closer. "I am." Love flowered adult. Dinners with the 4 kids, awkward merges melting to Mario Kart marathons. Weekends at his lake cabin, fishing poles and fried perch. No rush to alter. We savored slow scars shared like stories. His, "How'd I miss it?" Mine, blinded by love. Boys approved. Jamal grilling him on stats. Trey high-fiving after a pickup game. Church wedding small. June 26, peonies and piano, vows fierce, through fire, forever. Roland sent a card. "Happy for you." Unopened. Nessa, a Facebook glimpse, solo, smiling forced, karma's quiet close. Today at 52, Calvin's laugh fills halls, our blended brood thriving. Jamal graduated, Trey scholarship bound. I lead audits that save lives, stash seating community grants. Pain, faint echo, teacher not tyrant. Betrayal broke me open, but oh, the gold poured in. Strength, love, a heart unchained. Sisters, sometimes the hottest hell births the sweetest dawn. Burn bright. Your flame's just beginning. If this tale of hidden heat and heartfelt comeback scorched your soul, sisters, had you gasping, grinning, or gripping your phone tight, smash that like button and spill in the comments. What's your spiciest revenge story or the betrayal that lit your inner fire? We rise together here. Hit subscribe for weekly whispers of pain to power every Thursday. Auntie Speaks serving endless spice. Bell on for notifications. Don't miss the next blaze. Grace and grit to y'all. See you soon.